Well, hello peoples of the internet, my name is Kevin and welcome back to another video. Hello, I know it's been a little while since the last video, but I'm back and I'm here and I'm going to do a 24-hour readathon vlog as my little comeback again to YouTube because I haven't read a single book so far for Pride Month and we have 2 days, well, a day really left of Pride and I need to fix that ASAP because I was trying to read another book for my Patreon book club. If you don't know, I have a Patreon. It's always linked down below where I have a book club as part of it where we read a book every single month. I do a spoiler-filled vlog of the book and I talk about it with you guys over on Patreon. But I tried to read Love and Other Disasters by Anita Kelly over there and I got 100 and something pages into it. And the vlog was just a rant review and stuff because this book just wasn't doing it for me. It was extremely cringe and like forced quirkiness and I was like, I can't do it. I cannot do it. Like there was a quote where the main character Dahlia, she was saying like how she was going to gut a fish and by doing that she was breaking down the patriarchy. Take that as you will. So I was like, yeah. That put me into a bit of a reading slump and I couldn't read anything else for like the rest of the month and I didn't read any Pride books. So we need to fix that and that's why I'm doing this 24-hour readathon. So let's just jump into the books that I want to read because I have 4 books that I want to try read in 24 hours. No, that's very optimistic, but I believe it can happen. I'm going to show you the 4 books that I'm planning on reading. The first one being The Ghosts We Keep by Mason Deaver. Now, this follows our main character who is non-binary and their brother has just passed away in a car accident and it's them basically just dealing with all of that and how their family is coping with the loss of their son, brother. And also the main character then starts to bond with their brother's best friend. And I'm not sure if a relationship comes from that or anything, but that's what the book is about. I believe it definitely centers on grief. So I'm hoping to finish this. I actually have already started this. I started this months ago and I put it down for something else. I don't know what I put down for, but I put it down for something else. But I got 102 pages into it and I remember I read that all in one sitting, so it's really quick to read. So I do think I actually could finish this. And I loved Mason Deaver's other book, I Wish You All the Best. So I definitely want to read this one and get this finished in this 24-hour readathon. Next one that I have is Only on the Weekends by Dean Atta. Now, I have absolutely no idea what this book is about. I'm assuming it has something to do with these 2 people and they meet maybe only on the weekends. I don't know. All I know is it's by Dean Atta. If you guys know, Dean Atta's book, The Black Flamingo, is one of my favorite books of all time. I love that book so much. It literally means the world to me. It makes me cry every time I read it. I just love that book so much. And this is Dean Atta's newest book. So the minute it came out, I was like, yep, I need this. And I actually got gifted this by my friend Ilse for my birthday, which was back on June 18th. So thank you so much, Ilse, for gifting this to me. I'm very excited to read it. Now, this book might look chunky to you and you'd be like, Kevin, how are you gonna read that in 24 hours? Well, let me tell you how I'm going to do it. This book is written completely in verse. Oh, you cannot see the pages. This is really awkward. You can't even see. Yeah, you can, yeah. It's written in verse. So it's gonna be one that you read really quickly. I think I might actually start with this one. So, yeah. As I said, don't know anything about it. All I needed to know is it was by Dean Atta and I was gonna read it. So when I actually start reading it, I will give you a synopsis as to what it's about. The next one that I want to try read, this is a very optimistic TBR, by the way. I really don't know if I'll get through all 4 of these, but we're just gonna keep rolling with it. The next one that I wanna read is One Last Stop by Casey Mcquisten. If you don't know, Red, White and Royal Blue by Casey Mcquisten is one of my favorite books of all time. I love that book so much and it's getting adapted and there has been pictures everywhere about the adaptation with Nicholas Galitzine and that man is absolutely stunning and when he got casted to play Henry, I literally died inside. So I cannot wait for the adaptation. But anyways, I haven't read anything else by Casey Mcquisten and this came out last year, I believe, and I just haven't read it yet. So it's definitely one that I want to try get to. All I know that this follows, I think it has something to do with time travel and it follows this character who gets on the train one day, or the subway, I think it's in New York, and she meets this character on the train and I think they start to fall in love with each other, but one of them is stuck in a different time period because the train, as I said, is like a time traveling vessel thing. I don't know. I was gonna say I don't know geometry, but that is not geometry. Physics, it means something. The space-time capsule continuum, it means something, and I don't know what it's about, but it has something to do with that, and I'm just interested to read it. I've heard lots of great things about it, so hoping I'm gonna love it. And then the final book that I want to read is one that's actually on my Kobo, and that is A Lady for a Duke by Alexis Hall. Now, I have read Boyfriend Material by Alexis Hall, and once again, another one of my favorite books of all time. I literally loved it so much. I actually read that last year for Pride. And this one, I don't really know what it's about. I know it's a historical romance, I believe. And one of the characters is trans, and that's all I really needed to know about it. I've seen lots of great reviews on it on TikTok and stuff like that, so I'm really excited to read it. Once again, once I start reading it, I'll actually tell you what it's about. They are the 4 books that I'm hoping to read, so let's hope I can read as many of them as possible, because I just need to read some books for Pride. Like, the fact I've read none is actually such a crime. Like, who am I? Who am I? Like, it's just, it's a shambles. It's an absolute shambles, everyone. That's the only way I can put it. It's a shambles. So, I'm gonna go start reading. And, as I said, I think I'm gonna start with Only on the Weekends by Dean Atta. So, come along with me for the reading journey. Okay, guys, so I have been reading Only on the Weekends, and I'm up to page 55. This book is 521 pages. I didn't think it was that long, and then I looked up to see how long it was. 521 pages. Also, this is a public shout out to Goodreads. Why is my version not on Goodreads? Because I went to go update my Goodreads to say that I was currently reading this. There's no addition on it that says it's 521 pages long. So now, when I update, like, what page I'm on for this, the percentage is not going to be right because it's not the same page count as my one. And, like, what's that about? Sort yourself out, Goodreads. This is a public call out. As I said, I'm on page 55, and this book so far is following our main character named Mac, and he is a 15-year-old boy in secondary school in the UK. I don't know actually what part of the UK, but he's in the UK. He meets this girl named Maz in his home ec class, and they become, like, best friends. And Mac also has a crush on this boy named Kay. We don't actually know his full name yet, it's just Kay, he calls him. And he just happens to be Maz's cousin. So Mac's like, now that I'm besties with her, she can, like, introduce me to her cousin who I'm in love with. So that's what he's doing. And also Mac's dad is, like, a really famous film director. So he's kind of, like, rich as well. Yeah, that's all you need to really know. I'm assuming he's gonna fall in love with Kay, and then stuff's gonna unfold from there, but we shall see. Anyways, where I am right now, Maz and Mac are, like, in a house together. This is not spoilers, by the way, that's the only reason I'm talking about it. It's not a spoiler. And they're in Maz's house or whatever, and as I said, they met in home ec, so that they love cooking together. So they're making food, and Kay has come over because, like I said, he's cousins with Maz, so it's very common for them to be around each other. And he comes out of his room to start helping them with the cooking, and he, like, pushes past them, and he's like, you guys are doing it wrong. And when he does that and pushes past them, Mac is just like, he touches me. And I'm just like, oh, been there, been there. And then the guy, Kay, is, like, saying, like, the order of how you're supposed to cook everything, and then he goes, and then once you've done that, it's gonna be chef's kiss. And he does that, and then Mac is literally like, kiss me? Question mark? And it's just, it's very relatable, because, like, he doesn't even know if Kay is, like, queer or anything, but he's just making up this whole scenario in his head and, like, building this whole fake relationship in his head. And I'm like, I have been there. That's really silly goofy to me. And, like, the fact that he just touches off and he's like, oh my god, he touched off me, we're in love. Like, been there, hun. Been there. Okay, guys, so I'm now up to page 163 of Only on the Weekends, and I am really enjoying this book so far. The main, like, focus of this book is definitely the secret boyfriend trope, which you will see a lot of in any LGBTQIA+ media. It's a very common trope because it's something that happens very often in our daily lives and daily relationships. Like, it's a very common thing that you'll start dating someone in the LGBT community and one of them is just not out yet, is not comfortable with their sexuality yet, so they have to keep it hidden, their relationship, and they can't be the way they want to be, like, out publicly with their partner or whatever, because the other one doesn't feel comfortable yet coming out. It's just a very common thing in queer relationships. It's just very, very common. And it's definitely a trope in this one as well, because the main character Mac is obviously out and proud, and the other Kay is not out yet. It doesn't really know where he fits, like what his label or anything is. And he just doesn't want to be out publicly. He like plays basketball. He doesn't want the guys on his basketball team to know all that kind of stuff. And also, I understand the name now of the book, Only on the Weekends, because the main character Mac is actually moving to Scotland with his father, because his father, as I said, is a director, and he's making this new film in Scotland, and he is moving him and his son there for 3 months. So that means that Mac is not going to be able to see his boyfriend all of the time, and he's only going to get to see him on the weekends. Only on the weekends. Get it? We get it? What a fun, stunning moment. Like, what a fun way to put in the title and like have it come back in the actual story. Stunning. I love what you did there, Dean Atta. So that's what the book is about, and personally I am, like I said, enjoying the book, but I am kind of over reading books that have that trope about the secretism and stuff like that, just because it's something that I've experienced myself, and it just reminds me of like how sad and dark that time was. And so reading about it can just be a little bit, I wouldn't say triggering, but it just reminds me of how sad it is and how real it does happen in the queer spaces, like, and queer relationship. It just happens so often, and it just kind of makes me sad to read about it again. But like I said, it's true representation. This does happen, so I'm not gonna let that affect my rating of the book, because it's very valid representation. This happens so many times. I also am really liking that the main character and his father have such a complex relationship, in the fact that like his dad is obviously a director and stuff, and so he doesn't really see his dad that often. And so it kind of talks about like how he has this great house that he lives in because his dad has it from like all of his money that he makes through the filmmaking and stuff, but he just feels so lonely in the house because he doesn't have his dad. And it just talks about like certain parts when he comes home and he just wants to talk to his dad about his day and stuff, and he just doesn't have his dad. And he's like, in an ideal world, I'd have my dad to talk about these things, to help me figure out my emotions and stuff like that. And it's just sad to read, and especially like with them moving to Scotland, the dad is just like, well, I want you to be with me, but then it's like, you're not really putting my feelings forward because I don't want to move. Like, why suddenly now are you invested in being with me all the time, when up until this point you were never around that often? And it's just, like I said, it's just talking about very complex family issues. And yeah, so I am enjoying it. I am interested to see where the book goes, because I think we might actually head towards a love triangle, because I'm just getting that vibe that now that he's moving away, he's going to meet someone else. And I just feel like it's going to be a love triangle. Like, I just sense it in my soul. And honestly, I haven't read a love triangle in a book in a really long time, so not totally against that idea. Also, I don't know if you noticed my outfit, but I am serving Barney the dinosaur realness. Purple hoodie, green trousers. She's Barney the dinosaur. Look out, Barney. I'm coming for your brand. I've also decided that I'm going to do a live show on YouTube at 7 o'clock to do some reading sprints, because I haven't done one of those in so long. So I'm going to do that. But for now, I'm going to go read some more of this. I might make dinner as well, because I'm getting a little bit hungry. So that's the plans. Okay guys, so it is the next day and next morning. I have just woken up and stuff. Well, I say I've just woken up. I think I've been awake like for like past 2 hours or so. But anyways, I'm awake. And I finished reading Only on the Weekends just like a few minutes ago. I didn't actually read anything last night because I did my YouTube live stream, which if you haven't seen, I'll link it down below so you can go watch that. And I did some reading sprints with you guys over there, and I was reading this during that. And then after that live show, I went and watched Love Island and loved Love Island. It was so good, the recoupling and everything. And Ekin-Su picked who I wanted her to pick. Anyways, that's irrelevant to the conversation right now. As I said, I finished reading Only on the Weekends by Dean Atta, and I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5 stars. I actually was leaning towards 3.5 for the longest of time, but then when I got to the end of it, I kind of understood the story a lot more, and it just came full circle moment, and I was like, oh, I get it now. Like, I kind of get like the hidden message behind this book. And that for me was that this book just follows a young boy who is just looking for love. His mother passed away when he was really young from cancer. His dad is always working, so he never gets to see him. He just wants love. He just wants to be loved, and he's a very flawed character. He makes mistakes, he does things that you don't agree with, but you understand that his reasoning behind all of it is that he just wants to be loved. Obviously, like I said, he does make choices that I just don't agree with, but when you figure out that the reason he was doing all these things is that he just wants to be loved, you kind of understand him as a character more, and I really enjoyed that, because most books, obviously the main character is extremely likable and you love him and you root for them. And I did really enjoy, like Mac as a character. I didn't dislike him. But like some of his choices, like I said, I wouldn't agree with. And I think that's actually quite interesting to read from that perspective at times, so that you don't always agree with everything the main character is doing, but then by the end of it you understand all of their reasonings. And I really like that. I think it came a real full circle moment and I really enjoyed it. This book also did end up having a love triangle, and honestly, I'm very happy, because the person that I wanted to be picked from the love triangle got picked, and that rarely ever happens to me. The person always usually picks the one I don't want them to pick. There was a lot of representation in here as well, like the main character is Nigerian, one of the characters is Egyptian, there is representation for obviously a gay character, bisexual characters, non-binary characters, trans characters. There's just a lot of representation in here, and I appreciate all of it. I loved how it was all done, and I think 4 out of 5 stars suits this perfectly, and I would definitely recommend it if you are a fan of Dean Atta's other book, The Black Flamingo. I think you will most likely enjoy this too. So now I'm gonna go have breakfast, and then after that I'm going to start reading, I think, One Last Stop by Casey Mcquisten, because that's kind of the book I'm in the mood for. I also think I might get that on audiobook and read it physically at the same time, because I want to get ready for Olivia Rodrigo, who I'm seeing today, which I'm very, very excited about. And I need to paint my nails, because I want to paint them black for Miss Olivia Rodrigo. So that's my plans for today. Okay guys, so it is now, I almost think it's time for the 24 hours to be over. I think I have like an hour or so left, but I have been reading One Last Stop by Casey Mcquisten. I've actually gone up to page 71 and I'm on chapter 4. The chapters are quite long, so I've actually read a good bit of it. And so far, I'm liking it. I do think it does take a little bit to get into the book, which is what a couple of you guys told me yesterday in the live stream when I was doing, and I spoke about how I was going to be reading this soon. You guys said it does take a little bit of time to get into it, so just know that before you read it. But actually, I'm really enjoying it so far. Like, I really like the main character, August. I think she's very relatable. She seems to be like someone who is kind of trying to figure herself out as like a 23-year-old, which is very relatable, because I'm still trying to figure myself out as a 26-year-old, so very relatable for me. She's like figuring out her life. She just moved to New York. She moves in with these new roommates named Nico and Mila and Wes, and yeah, the roommates are all kind of fun. They all have like their own distinct personalities, so I quite like all 3 of them and all of their different personalities. She's also working as a waitress in like this little pancake shop, which is really cute. And yeah, so she takes the train when she's going to school, because she's in college and stuff. And when she's on that train, that's where she meets Jane, which is this woman on the train. And she meets her and she like instantly is like attracted to her. Because I already know the synopsis of this book and how I know that Jane just can't get off this train and she's stuck in like a time loop, I think. We know that Jane is from, I think, the 70s or the 80s, because she's dressed in that attire. She doesn't really know music or anything after that, because August says some references and Jane doesn't know what she's talking about. But obviously August doesn't know yet that she's stuck in a time loop. Also, really I'm enjoying the dynamic between the 2 characters. Jane is very flirtatious. Like, wow. Like, literally so flirtatious. Very smooth. Like, some of the dialogue, I'm like, this is actually too accurate. I've seen people be flirty like that before and be that smooth. And I'm just like, wow. Jane knows what she's doing. She knows how to flirt. And August is like falling for her. And I'm just like, you know what, August? I don't even blame you, because she's so flirty and so smooth that I would fall for her too. So good for you. So that's basically where I am right now. I think I'm actually gonna go have a shower and then paint my nails. I am also listening to it as an audiobook, and I might listen to like maybe 1 more chapter while I'm painting my nails, and then I shall be ending the vlog. I don't know if this vlog has been very entertaining, so I do apologize, but I just wanted to do a little, you know, 24-hour readathon, and I hope you guys are enjoying this video anyways. And I'm overthinking everything right now, like, yeah, sorry, I'm gonna go have my shower. Okay guys, so I am about to do my nails. I'm just gonna do black just because I'm wearing like all black clothing for this concert tonight. So that's the vibe. Before I go doing that, I just actually want to show you because I got a little package today from Chloe for my birthday. And she sent me some really cute stuff. And I just want to show it because she got me like Winnie the Pooh stationery. So like these little cards where you can like do your movie reviews and your 5-star rating, and then you can give like your little synopsis, like your little opinions on it. And the fact it's Winnie the Pooh, if you know me, you know I'm obsessed with Winnie the Pooh. I just love Winnie the Pooh so much. And then she also got me this like little letter set, which is Winnie the Pooh, and it has Winnie the Pooh obviously, and Piglet, and then there's Tigger as well. I actually don't know if Eeyore's in this. Very cute, very, very cute. And then she got me these 3 different Polaroids, which are actually really, really cute. So it's from when she came at Christmas to Ireland. That's me and her outside Dublin Castle. Me and her at Temple Bar in Dublin. Me and her in front of my Christmas tree. And I need to hang those up. And I honestly might as well just hang her up onto this thing that I have above my bed. It's right up here. I'll show you. Right up here, I have this picture frame, and honestly, Chloe's on like all of it already as it is. So I might as well just add her to it and keep it going. Okay guys, so I have painted the nails. Turned out a lot better than I thought, except this finger right here, I won't hold it up in a certain way because I don't want to look like I'm flipping you off. But this finger, if you look too closely at her, she gets a bit messy, so we're just not going to pay attention to her. But the rest of them, I think they look good. I'm happy with them. I did not read any more of my book because I listened to Olivia Rodrigo instead. So I'm going to end the vlog here. Didn't read as much as I was anticipating or hoping from this reading vlog, but you know what? I managed to read a book and start another one, so I'm happy with that because I hadn't read anything all month. So the fact I finally read something for Pride Month makes me happy. Of course, I read Only on the Weekends, 4 out of 5 stars, and of course I started One Last Stop up to page 71. We'll definitely continue reading this, and I think I'm actually gonna do a weekly vlog next week or so, so I'll probably continue reading this in that weekly vlog, so you'll see my full thoughts on it when I actually finish it and stuff, so look forward to that. Other than that, I think that's going to be it for this reading vlog, 24-hour readathon. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you are looking for extra content from me, I have a Patreon where I do monthly live shows. I do a book club where we read a book every single month. I film a reading vlog on that book. You also get access to another exclusive video that you get to vote on every month. We do Netflix parties. I have a private story where you get access to it on Patreon, all that fun stuff. So if you'd like to see that, it's linked down below. Also, my other social medias are all linked down below if you want to follow me over there. And other than that, that's going to be it for this video, and I shall see you all next time in my next one. So goodbye guys.